What's up, all my Honda addicts? September 11th, 2015. So this date is really important to me. It's interesting because people have asked me to do a reaction or talk about the date or where I was on September 11th, 2001, and well, the story kind of starts like this. I met my wife on my 21st birthday, and well, she was not my wife at that point in time, but that was in 98. 98? Yeah, something like that. And 6 months after I met her, I asked her to marry me. She wanted to finish her college degree under her maiden name, which was cool. I was cool with it, so we ended up waiting a year and a half before we got married. And then on the day of our wedding, I woke up. It was 1999, and a day just like this here in Montana, just absolutely beautiful. Mid 60s right now. Blue sky. There's a cloud in the sky. It's absolutely beautiful. And went to the church, got married, and it was epic. And that started our journey together. A year later, on August 28th, I was in a rollover accident in an armored truck. It was no bueno. Nearly died. Broke my back, my neck, crushed the left side of my chest, broke my femur, all kinds of stuff. It was no bueno. And was in the hospital. They had to put me in a drug-induced coma. I was out from August 28th until September 11th of 2000. They woke me up on that day. I got to see my wife. It was the most beautiful sight I've ever seen. I thought I had died. I didn't know what was going on. And it was just amazing. So I got to see my wife on September 11th in 2000. And then we ended up moving from Montana over to Washington to Spokane. She was in an internship, living in a rat hole apartment. I was on disability. I had to learn how to walk all over again. It was no bueno. So, but she was in an internship there, and on September 11th, we had gotten up at I think I was up at about 3 in the morning, and that's Pacific Standard Time. So it would have been 7 in the East Coast, and we got up early. I had to have her to the hospital where she was interning at by 4, so we got her there by 4. I went home and was chilling, and then the whole news broke out about what had happened with the September 11th thing. It was really kind of a bittersweet day because here's the deal, and I purposely left it out. In 1999, when we were married, we were actually married on September 11th, 1999. So 2 years before the attacks happened, my wife and I got married. And so I celebrated my first anniversary in the hospital. My second anniversary, this happens. And so that was a kind of a bittersweet thing because I was celebrating 2 years of life with my wonderful wife. And it was kind of bittersweet because all the things that were going on, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I called her and told her what was going on. Of course, she couldn't quit because she's working at the hospital. I mean, she couldn't come home or anything. Everybody else was able to go home, but my wife, being that she was working in the hospital, couldn't leave. I mean, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if we were going to be attacked, anything like that. Just outside of Spokane is Fairchild Air Force Base. They went on high alert because the refueling wing for all the fighters and that kind of stuff, one of the big refueling wings is right there. And so there was a huge scare that, that it wasn't just going to be isolated to what happened in New York and Washington, D.C. and Pennsylvania and that kind of stuff. And so there was a huge thing going on about the whole thing. And I remember just thinking, man, this is pretty scary. I was still in bad shape. I mean, I'd had multiple surgeries up at that point in time. It was not good. And if I could have, I would have picked up arms right then and went. Um, and so I got to spend my anniversary with my wife in a ghost town. We went to the mall. The mall was still open. We were just going to go, look at some stuff. And there was like one or two employees around. I mean, it was a literal ghost town. Went to a restaurant. The restaurant was it was a ghost town too. I mean, there was basically staff and us there. It was kind of neat because it was on my anniversary, and so we kind of had like the restaurant to ourselves. But it was really bittersweet because of what was going on, and so the things that the emotions that we were dealing with it was interesting because we couldn't still believe what was going on. It was a blow. It was a wound. I mean, I think everybody felt that way at that point in time. So it was weird because we were dealing with the wounds of our nation being attacked, people dying needlessly, but yet we're still trying to celebrate our marriage and that kind of stuff. And so it was a real interesting time. It's hard to explain. It's hard to even put into words. Now, so every year we get to celebrate our anniversary on something that people look at as a bad thing, and it was a bad thing. But I kind of wanted to talk about the aftermath of that. September 11th, 2001 was a dark place in history for the United States. My personal opinion, for humanity, because the truth is people are people, and we all do stupid stuff. And September 11th was stupid. It was needless loss of lives. I completely and totally don't understand why people want to do that. But I do want to sit here and tell you on my anniversary, because that's how I look at it, is my anniversary, not the anniversary of September 11th, because that is a wound that will always be there. I don't think it will ever heal completely. I really feel for the families of the victims of that, because they get to look back on this as something where they lost something near and dear to them, which is no bueno. It's not a good thing. But I wanted to talk about America in and of itself and let you know that a couple of things about it. This is a wound that will never heal, but it's not an incapacitating wound. It's not something that's going to stop us from progressing and going on in the future. It's not going to stop us from progressing in the future, and it's not going to stop us from going places. The thing about America is America is not the government. It's not the flag. It's not the beautiful bald eagles that we get to see flying around here in Montana. It's not even necessarily about our borders. What makes America America is its people. When people say we can't, we do. When the impossible is said to be impossible, we accomplish it. And that's something about America that I see, and it's not about technology or anything. It's its people. People are what make America great. And by people, I mean black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern. We are what is America, and that's the beauty of this country. Is that everybody can come here and have a foothold or accomplish their dreams through hard work, through putting their nose to the grindstone, and that is what makes America great. It's not our borders, it's not the government, and the truth be told, America is not what Hollywood is. America is not what our sports teams are. they're great. I love watching movies. I love watching football, whatever, that kind of stuff, just as much as the other person. But that is not what America is about. America is about its people. And the truth is it's the greatest nation in the history of man because of its people. Um, so going on from today, looking at September 11th, maybe it is a wake-up call for all of us to really look at it and say, you know what, I'm going to make a difference today. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to reach my dreams. I'm going to treat everybody that I come into contact, regardless of race or anything, religion, that kind of stuff, with the dignity and respect and kindness that everybody deserves. As far as going from the future with terrorist attacks and all that kind of stuff, what people see on the news and that kind of stuff is not who we are. What people see in the movies is not who we are. We are people just like everybody else. And we need to start spreading that love and sharing that with other people, because we have hope and we have the freedoms to have a chance to live in this country. So that's what September 11th is to me. That's what I was doing on September 11th. I hope you enjoyed this story. Take it for what it is. I appreciate you watching. This is Ben Hondo. What are you going to do?